Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really important question. What makes a research design, well, good? But more than just good, what makes it defensible? Especially when you're not in a sterile lab, but out in the real, messy world of education.
It sounds like such a simple question, right? But it's actually the key to everything. It kind of forces us to look at this huge gap between the perfect, by-the-book gold standard for research and what people actually need when they're on the ground doing the work.
All right, so to get our heads around this, let's start with the classic framework. The one that's supposed to be the foundation for any and all rigorous scientific work. Yeah, this should look pretty familiar. It's that classic 8-step process. It's super clean, it's logical, and it's designed to take a researcher all the way from, I wonder about this problem, to a final polished report. I mean, this is basically the bedrock of how we think we build knowledge. And that's the whole point, right? This blueprint is all about bringing order and rigor to the process. It's what's supposed to make the research sound, repeatable, and make sure the conclusions are totally solid, and, most importantly, defensible.
But here's where it gets interesting. What happens when this clean, perfect, predictable blueprint slams into the messy, complicated, and wonderfully unpredictable world of someone like a teacher in a classroom?
Wow, this quote from Donald Schoen just nails it, doesn't it? A classroom isn't some controlled lab experiment. It's a living, breathing space that is absolutely filled with doubt and complexity. So you get this natural tension. It's a clash between the need for a strict, systematic process and the day-to-day reality on the ground, which is all about adapting, improvising, and thinking on your feet. So what do you do with that tension? Well, it actually pushes us toward a completely different way of thinking about what the whole purpose of research is, especially for an educator. And this illustrates that split perfectly. On one hand, you have traditional research, which is all about finding these big, universal truths that apply to everybody everywhere. But on the other hand, a practitioner's need is so much more immediate. It's about solving this problem in this classroom, right now. And that is the big shift. That's the whole ballgame. For a teacher, or really any hands-on professional, the main question isn't about some grand, abstract theory. It's about finding what's going to work for their students, in their situation, today. So, if the old blueprint doesn't always fit, you're going to need a different kind of tool, right? A new kind of map that's actually designed for the field, not for the lab. And that's where something called action research comes into the picture. It's literally built from the ground up to be a tool for self-improvement. It gives practitioners the power to become researchers of their own work, so they can study what they do and figure out how to do it even better. When you really strip it all away, this entire method, this whole change in perspective, it's all powered by one simple, fundamental question that anyone dedicated to their craft asks themselves. That's it. That's the question. It's the absolute heart of action research. It's the engine that drives the whole thing. And it's the perfect bridge that takes us from abstract theory to real, meaningful improvement, both personally and professionally. It's a question that demands action. So we're going to take that powerful question and run with it. In the next part of our series, we're going to dive deep into action research. We'll get into where it came from, its basic principles, and the kinds of real-world problems it's actually built to solve. Hope to see you then.